Welcome to the Academy. Please take your seats.
Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Guildmates of Ravnica. Before we go around and say hello to these wonderful people, let's go through some channel announcements. Unfortunately, two of our players couldn't make it this week due to all sorts of personal things, but hey, we are here playing D&D. with you guys. Let's go through. First of all, we have social links. As soon as I find there it is. We have social links over there. You can check out our Discord, our Twitter, and our YouTube. Oh, hi, Will. Discord is a safe, inclusive space where you can come and talk about TTRPGs and all the other wonderful things. Twitter is the place where you can come to contact me. Let me know if you want to get into a game, and I will get you a game. And YouTube, you can go and catch up on all of these shows as they are uploaded to the YouTube within the week following. Also, we have a Patreon. Please go and check out our Patreon. It's a wonderful place where you can support us for as little as $1 a month. The amount of support you lend is entirely up to you. And you can let us know about that support with the second link. There's also some articles over there, some written by Renee, others written by Archmage Derek. Next, we also have merchandise. Merchandise is found over on our site at Redbubble. You can get a t-shirt exactly like this one, should you so desire, a coloured t-shirt, or maybe a book or something in which you can write your campaigns. They have an A5 book, which is just perfect for a double-page spread to... perfect double-page spread to sort out your 3-hour one-shot. We also have sponsors in the form of Bird in the Storm Publishing. Bird in the Storm Publishing are a publishing company that write modules for D&D and other TTRPGs. We played the Clearing of the Midnight Weald during the Christmas time, and that is available on YouTube. You can go and check that out right now. What else do we have? We also have Mage Hand Press. Thank you, Scrap. Your brain just went blank there. Mage Hand Press created the Dark Matter Alpha. The Dark Matter Alpha is an expansion for D&D 5e set in the sci-fi universe. Any fandom that you have in a sci-fi setting, I guarantee you will find in that book. And we play it on Thursdays at 10 PM EST, where Laugh Love Lindy leads the completely legitimate business campaign. It's a ton of fun. You should check it out. We also have some other things in the panels below. Check out erasavad.com, check out tabletoploot.com, check out rootinc.com. Each one of those has a discount link associated with it. Go and use the discount code to get 10% or 15% discount at each place. And we also have down there the channel artist Ambly, who does all of the overlays, well, not all of those, most of the overlays and all of the overlays and most of the posters for the stream. Feel free to go and check her out as well. We do have a tweet. Every 10 retweets will lead to a random roll on Kyle's personalized table of minor magical effects. So please go and head over and tweet the tweet so we can all tweet about tweeting. So there's only 2 of us today, so it feels less like going around and more like just introducing ourselves. Oh hi, let's start with our DM. Oh hi, Kyle, welcome back.
Hi. Yes, good to be back and crossing fingers less. Unforeseen technical issues on Zoom's part, like last week. Hi, yeah, Kyle, Sir Stalwart on the internet, and yeah, I'm super excited to be back. And DMing for 2. This will be just as fine and easy as, thankfully, this week doesn't matter. 2:20, we'll do the thing. And it'll be very nice. I'm anxious to see these 2 and how they respond to the situation they're given. So super excited, and as always, glad to be back.
Why does that make me feel ever so slightly nervous? I'm not sure. But next we say hello to the wonderful I wasn't invited or Sketty Cow.
Sketico, or I
Sketico.
wasn't invited, also known as Chantal sometimes.
Oh, hi.
Hi, I'm back too.
Welcome back.
I was not expecting it to be such close quarters. I feel like I should have set up candles and maybe dinner.
Yes.
I mean, there's still time. We could, if we wanted to, we could each do that.
That would be even stranger. I'm trying to make things more comfortable and actually making it worse.
Isn't that just always the way, though? The thing is, I'm terrible. I'm one of them British guys that just loves an awkward silence, so I'll just go with you right to the edge. Who are you playing today?
I am playing a character called Prince, who is a male tiefling bard, because I'm very original with names.
Yeah, that's just fine. The male tiefling bard, formerly known as, called Prince. Fantastic. Well, great. Today I'll be playing Stellaluces and a Tartum, Dragonborn of the Boris Legion as a druid. Last week he got eaten by plants an awful lot and wasn't very pleasant. But anyway, Kyle, why don't you lead on the story and work together in making it come to life?
Okay. Yeah, and Stellaluce last week was, he was all, volunteered to go do the thing, and the thing volunteered to come get him. So it worked out beautifully, I think. So yeah, well, let's touch on something we didn't really get to last week because we did the intro, I don't even know, twice or something without it actually getting out. Yeah, so this campaign is going to have its own roll table. New donations $5 above, subs, whatever, we'll get a roll on the guild activity table. So if that happens, then whoever donates, just make sure you clarify which player or myself needs to roll on the table. And different things happen depending on the role, from just different guild activities in the area. Also, dollar donations will give a player or myself a cryptics coin, which they will flip when they want to use it, and it'll give them a D4 or take a D4 away from any roll they'd like. But they don't know what happens until they go to flip. You got to flip. Got to take the chance. So could hinder, could help, but you want to get those out of your pocket because they draw attention with them being in your pocket.
You can take a chance if you want to.
Yes. Yeah. But if you just let it sit, then
you might leave your friends behind.
Yes. So yes, today we're going to. It's a few days after last week's session, where the party went and was charged with finding the location where a fire main angel was being held captive. Boy, that would have been a good week for Gaja with her angel obsession.
Wow.
So there is both party members this week and all party members last week were members of the Boros Legion. And the Boros Legion is kind of the acting military force. They are all about justice, getting justice done, no matter what the cost. They'll break the rules. Shit's got, it's got to get done. So, last week they found the location of this held fire main angel, and this is a few days after those events. Luckily, they were handled off screen by a larger force than just the party that was sent out to do recon. So that was all taken care of. The fire main angel was recovered thanks to your efforts. And this week it's going to be quite a bit of a downgrade, and you're you might feel like you got a little bit of a side duty on this one, but it turns out there's a lot going on right now here and there for the Boros. So they just don't have the manpower to handle everything. And Boros doesn't really trust the Azorius, which are do a lot of the beat cop kind of stuff, the low level petty stuff. They don't really trust them to get a whole lot of it done. They're all hung up. The Azorius is all hung up on the law, making sure everything is by the law, by the books, by the number. Not so much about getting it done for justice, but getting it done just because it's the law. Well, Commander Yasmin was just dumped something on his desk, and apparently there's a situation over in Precinct 2 where there is a meeting between the Azorius Senate members and the Izzet League members. Just as kind of an informal meeting. They do a lot of these meetings for city planning, because the Izzet are in charge of city energy, steamworks and aqueducts and stuff like that. They're in charge of a lot of energy within the city / world of Ravnica. And the Azorius are in charge of zoning laws and, allocation of resources and labor and all this stuff. So, there's lots of these little meetings going on across the city. But District 2 has many professionals that live in the clean and orderly neighborhoods in District 2. And it's in the shadow of New Prov. So New Prov is it's not the capital, but it's like the capital of the Azorius Senate. So there's a lot of political matters that take place in District 2. And while mob bosses coerce residents in order to enrich themselves and influence local politics. So you also have the Orzhov Guild, which is the bank guild / mob / religious order. They fit a lot of shoes. They fit in a lot of shoes. They're kind of shady. But yeah, so this may be a region of uppities, but there's a lot of shady business going on over here as well. But you two have been sent on site to go to this meeting between the Izzet and Azorius and settle. There's some squabble going on, I guess, and it's starting to almost come to blows or to come to blows by this point. It's hard to tell. But you're supposed to go to this meeting, clear this up, and make sure that their business gets done without there being loss of life or at a minimum damage done to the city. So I'm Instaluce, I'm sorry. Without your party members here, it falls on you. It seems as though you're still stuck with what was this? Let me check the file. Jennings. Yeah, he's this Azorius little fella named Jennings, 19-year-old clerk, is to come with you. You tried getting rid of him, which was it makes sense because he wasn't a cleric, and they told you he was a cleric. You got an apology from Commander Yasmin, but it turns out that he is still supposed to stay here. Commander Yasmin's trying to clear up why. That's because he's not a cleric, so he's no use to the Boros on the field, other than maybe any technical knowledge he has. But still, you two are stuck babysitting this young, fresh whippersnapper as you head to your day's duties. So,
how much time have I had with him? Any?
Well, luckily you haven't been stuck with him the entire time that since last week's session. It's only been like 3 days since that happened. So you're just now seeing him again. Apparently He's been staying with the Boros for this entire time, and they're dumping him on you again.
Okay.
So you just so you are standing outside a manor in Precinct 2. And it's a nice looking manor, but in this district, it's just one of 1,000. There's not too much descript about it. You got some windows on the first floor. There's only a matter of feet between this manor and the manors on each side. So pretty cramped in here. But there was a set of double doors hanging wide open, and a somewhat short Viashino man, which Viashino is Ravnica's version of lizard men. They tend to be more civilized and more cunning than the normal D&D WotC thing. So, or WotC lizard men. So he's dressed in kind of a what looks to be an apron and a chef's hat that is way too small for his head, so it's just kind of sitting on the side of it, and sitting on the side of it, poking out, and he's waving you over. Come.
I'll mosey up. This isn't Jennings.
No, Jennings is standing with both of you.
Okay. He
is a 19-year-old human Azorius Senate man, just in blue and white robes with this Azorius symbol, the triangle of triangles on his robes, and he is just walking up with the two of you. Prince, you're going to notice that this young human man beside you has been kind of blabbing on your entire walk here about he doesn't understand why he's they keep putting him with the Boros and taking him out here in the streets, and he has to get back to his desk job, and he doesn't feel safe.
Come now, man. This is what adventures are made of. There shall be ballads written about this that I shall write.
Instead, Luce sort of looks across at Prince as they say this, and he's like, "Yeah, this is much more what I expected when I joined the Legion. Yes."
I'm not sure what he said, but yes, my friend.
Yeah, Prince Stella Luce he's a bit more seasoned fella. He's but sometimes he can go off. He can go off on tangents. The young kid just kind of looks at you like when you two start talking about adventure and joining the Legion, and he just kind of puts his head down and you Boros. Just exhausting. Let's see what the lizard guy wants.
Indeed, let us head over and see exactly what he wants.
You guys head up the many steps that lead up to the double doors for this manor, and the Viashino man standing there in a cook's outfit says, hi, why are you here?
I look at the old dude. Well, go on, veteran.
In all the excitement of climbing the stairs, I've quite forgotten why we're here. We're here to protect, right? To look after things, I believe, or at least investigate. Here to investigate the recent goings on. What with the difficult situations.
In short, my friend, how can we make your life better?
I didn't call for you. I just saw you standing out front for the last 5 minutes, and I figured you wanted to come here. You are the Boros. You are welcome here.
We are welcome everywhere we go.
Indeed, yes. Last week I nearly got eaten by a plant. Maybe not welcome by plants, but otherwise welcome everywhere.
I could have made a great stew out of that plant for you. Next time, friend.
Yes,
Come in.
We did have a rather good, I can't remember if it was stew or cobbler, but it was very good. They used them berries.
Oh, that sounds nice.
You know the ones, the blue ones, the hard to get. Apparently protected by tubular plants.
If you think about it, a cobbler is really just a sweet stew.
You are both making me hungry. The others, if you're here to see them, in the dining area, please proceed through that doorway.
He points to, as he's walking in the double doors, he's pointing to the left.
Yes, thank you. Very nice jacket, by the way. Looks rather fetching.
Thank you. Mr. Conklin gave me this jacket when he hired me.
Good. Well, let us go and visit Mr. Conklin.
Yes, in the dining area.
And he points you towards the door on the left, and he does an about face and heads straight ahead of you. There's also a door ahead of you, and he heads towards that door and into it.
Did you see that, Jennings? Did you see that? That was a rather admirable about face. Now, that's a bit of soldiering there that me and Prince obviously already understand. But you could easily pick up on the way that he turned his heel, clicked his heels together when he started walking, and then marched in a steady stride.
Oh, yes. 3/4 of being respected is to make a good show of it.
Yes, first impressions are everything. So now stop slouching, stand straight. You're not in a desk chair anymore. You're in the Legion, so you might as well bloody look like it.
And by the angel's sake, tuck in your shirt.
I'm wearing robes. And slippers. I can't click heels or tuck in my shirt.
I fix his robes around his. I'm assuming he's got some kind of belt.
Yeah, it's like a sash belt.
Yeah, just sort of tuck it in properly.
Ugh.
Good sharp folds. That is the key.
And for God's sake, the Boris Legion symbol should be straight.
I don't. That's Azorius. Don't mess with it. I could get in trouble. Thank you.
Yeah, obviously, any advance on you, like physically against him, he pretends like he's going to defend himself, but he's like,
My God, I hope they gave you a little bit of sword training this time.
No, but you all let me hold a sword last time. That was exciting. After the fighting was done, of course.
So you enjoyed that, did you? Perhaps there's a little bit of passion there. Maybe we'll make a soldier out of you yet.
Oh no! I didn't enjoy the fighting. Just afterwards, when it was over. Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's nothing quite like the rub down we give each other after a good spar with the oil and the heat. True camaraderie.
Oh, I don't remember any of heated oils or any. Okay, that's. I'll put that in my notes for Boros oiling process to be investigated. Okay, thank you. Yes.
Only by a trained healer or masseuse, though. You can really get conned that way.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Find yourself in some sticky situations rather than slippery.
Yes.
Of course, we will introduce you to all of these things when you are officially one of our own.
Oh, no. I'm sure they're going to let me go soon. Back to my guild. Mm-hmm.
Did they at least give you a shield this time as well?
No. I'm on restriction. I can't carry things over 10 pounds for any extended period of time. Bad wrists, you know.
Not even a light shield? We could just fasten it to your arm.
Or to his chest. I suppose that would probably be more helpful.
My chest? No.
I mean, he wouldn't learn much, but I suppose it would protect him.
I kind of poke him in the sternum to see if he bends a little bit.
Yeah, he does it. Ooh, ow. He's so rough.
Right, but okay, let's try playing to your strengths, Jennings, okay? You're a clerk, right? You understand how to speak to people, how to make deals, perhaps, organize trade agreements. What skills can you bring to this table? We're about to go and speak to someone. This could be somewhere where you can shine, surely.
Speaking, no, that's not in my wheelhouse. I'm more of a writing and reading guy.
Okay.
Yeah, my training. Sure.
Fantastic. In that case, do you have a pen and paper with you?
No.
You there, fine soldier lizard person. I'm afraid we have forgotten to bring our notes for taking minutes. Could you lend us a quill and a sheet of parchment?
Okay. And you say that to the Viashino who's coming out of the door that he went in after he let you guys in, and he has a tray what looks like hors d'oeuvres all over it and small little finger foods, and he has his arms wrapped around it.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm busy. I will try to fetch you something to write with when I get the chance.
Yes, whenever you get the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you, Kujas. I'm gonna hesitate to say that name properly, but thank you for the subscription. Thank you for paying your term fees. Welcome along.
Yes, and that gives somebody a Like it's well, we'll just wait for that. Okay, so that's one roll. Woo! Ooh, there goes my light. That's one roll on the table, right, Scrap?
Usually it's a reroll for a sub.
Oh, okay. We can do that.
Let's go through for chat as well. So £1 donations will give us a token that we can display on screen, which increases our temporary HP by 1, or the other thing that Kyle said to me last week and I've completely forgotten. We also have £3 is a reroll, where any dice that hits the table, we can call for it to be re-rolled. So if I had a re-roll and Kyle or Sketty rolled a dice and I was like, I don't like that result, I could just say, can you re-roll that please? And we always take the second dice result, better or worse. Next is add a d6 for £5. Adding a d6 means that we can add a d6 to any ability check, very much just like a Bardic Inspiration dice of value d6. And finale, £10 is where we start doing the rolls on Kyle's magical mystical table. It's also the reward for for all the goals over in the top right corner.
Looks like we got
Just to Kyle's right. Thank you for the host and everything, everyone, and welcome.
I think this turn. Yeah. I can't know where it's all at. Everything's turned backwards. Okay. Thank you. And the Viashino carries a tray, like just buzzes right by the three of you there discussing, and through the open doorway to your left as you walked in. And as you turn and you see him buzz on by and look in the doorway that he told you to go into, you see that there is a very large table in there, and there are several people sitting down to eat. But there are two, now that you can hear, now that you're a little closer, there are two voices arguing with each other, and many other voices with just mixed conversation and semi-amusement. And as you walk through that doorway and you look in and you see the large table, like a large dining room, this is, a large table, and the Viashino is setting down the tray, and in amongst these people, there are... there are 10 people total at the table, and they are sitting there. Some looks to be on the left side. There, you can tell by the garb that those will look like Is It members, Is It League members, and on the right side there are a few Azorius members. And at seeing them, Jennings just kind of perks up a little bit. Oh, thank you. And but you see standing behind the table in an open area is a female dragonborn and a female Azorius member, a dark-skinned woman with long dreaded hair and slightly graying, and they are both seem to be in some kind of rather uppity argument at the moment. And the dragonborn starts saying, you need to learn respect. You need to stop calling me names and picking fights. And the human woman is like, I just don't like your tone. I don't like your tone at all. This could have been civil, but now it's not. And the Viashino just buzzing around them, like giving them a wide berth, going around to the other side of the table, grabbing dirty plates from people's spots. Everyone else seems just amused and watching the argument unfold right beside the dinner table. They're still eating and
Popcorn.
yeah, they're just still eating finger foods and don't seem to be alarmed. This doesn't seem to be too hostile of a situation, like they kind of said it was when you guys got here, or when they sent you here.
What do you think, Prince? Should we see how this plays out or introduce ourselves early on?
I step forward, throw my arms up, and was like, greetings, everyone. Everything will be fine now. The Boros Legion is here.
Well, that answers my question, yes.
My name is Prince, and I give them like a very sort of elaborate sort of bow. And this is my colleague, Instilla Lucia Sanitatem. And that's Jennings.
Hello, welcome, this is Jennings.
Hi.
Now, It looks like things are getting interesting. How may we be of service?
So all the argument stops. The Dragonborn and the human turn to you. Everyone at the table turns to you. There's a goblin sitting at the table with his feet up on the table, and he's sitting there with like a handful of finger foods, just eating and looking at you. And he goes back to eating. They all take a pause and they look at you and they nod. And then the two go back to arguing, and everybody else turns their head and watches them argue. The Dragonborn slowly makes its way over towards you around the Azorius portion of this table and makes their way towards you.
I don't like it when they make fun of me, calling me a fake dragon. It tends to start fights.
Well, indeed, that's quite rude. Who might you be?
There's a great question.
There we go.
I am Fazette.
Is it?
Yes, I am an investor overseeing this pathetic council of pathetic people.
What an interesting notion, though. Have you ever put some thought to it? An elven dragon. Why do they call you that, a fey dragon?
No, that is just my name. I am named after the great Niv Mizzet.
And you'll know Niv Mizzet is the guildmaster for the Izzet. He is an ancient dragon, pretty much like the only legit dragon in this world. He's like 10,000 years old, super smart, super powerful, and yeah. So the Izzet all treat him like he's a god. But yeah,
She's like, I was named after the great Niv Mizzet. It is an honor. I will not have it besmirched.
Quite reasonable, I would say.
Yes, that's what I was saying. I don't understand the slurs.
Sorry, that's just the way I talk.
Oh, no, not you. Not you. They didn't tell me the Boros were funny. Very good.
the human behind her that was arguing with her, I don't think she's telling you the whole story. She makes me sound like slanderous. That is not true.
Why don't you tell us your side of things?
She's stalling. We are trying to get out of here, and she's stalling. So I just said that, she's no real dragon. A real dragon would not stall on matters of business and have me in this part of town.
That is a hurtful thing to say, though, don't you think?
I'll tell you what I think. I think, and she goes to raise her hand and elaborate to you. When she goes to tell you what she thinks, you hear a scream. A somewhat feminine scream, kind of gargled down. Like a kind of scream. It sounds like it's from the when you walk in the front door, from the right of the front door rather than when you came in from the left. Everyone kind of sits up straight at their table.
Right, Jennings, you stay here and sort this out. Prince, come on, there's something afoot. And instead of Luce will try and run forward and jump over the table towards the sound.
Okay, yeah.
Prince strikes a pose and then follows.
Okay. Yeah, plates and stuff start falling off the table, and everyone's like, what is he doing?
I don't have a great athletics. Do you want me to roll it?
Sure, yeah, we'll roll it for grace.
Oh, surprisingly nimble.
Roll for grace. Okay, very nice. Yeah, so you nimbly slide across the table. Things knock out of your way, but they don't slow you down any. Jennings just puts his head down and kind of walks around the table a little bit, trying to find purpose. And you
resolve this situation, Jennings. Resolve it.
It requires talking. And you
Make
two
a list, Jennings. A list.
Okay, I'll try. He grabs some kind of pate and starts writing in it with his finger. As you guys take off out of the room. And as you take off out of the room and you start getting ready to pass the two double doors that you came in, they are still open. As you approach them, they slam shut. And as you continue past the double doors to go out, things seem to get dimmer in here. And you look out the windows that are right beside the front door, and it's dark outside. It was barely midday when you came in, but it looks dark outside. But not where the screams came from, because they started back up, and they sound like they're coming from upstairs in this room, this greeting room. There is stairs on the far right corner that lead to the upstairs, and you hear the and you notice the gargling sound. It's not because somebody's choking. It's because there is a very short and almost gecko-looking Viashino comes wobbling out in a very traditional French maid outfit with frilly bonnet tied below her lizard chin, and she's,
someone killed him. Someone killed him.
What? There has been a murder. We must investigate. Come in Stella Luce.
Yeah, I'm very ready.
Such are my greatest adventures. And
You've got a lot of experience with murder, have you?
No, but I always wanted to write my own murder mystery.
Ah, okay, well, fair enough. At least that's willing. That's better than Jennings, so I'll take it. And whilst we're walking, I'm just going to detect magic, if you don't mind, just see what's going on. And I will proc my detect magic spell, please.
Okay. Are you casting it instantly or as a ritual?
I will cast it instantly. I want to know now what's going on. I'm worried of traps.
Okay, sure. You cast detect magic as you two are walking over to the stairs to go upstairs, and as you look around, you don't see anything magical until you turn your head far enough to look through the windows to the outside. Whereas you saw darkness when you looked out, just generally in passing, it looks like a solid wall of magic through the front windows.
Well, we seem fine in here. But outside, there's an awful lot of magic, Prince.
I believe the first step in that case would be to ensure that all the doors are locked. We do not want the perpetrator to escape.
I mean, the doors were wide open. They banged shut just moments ago.
Well, things must be done following a certain order.
Oh, no, I do quite agree, but yes, do we split up to try and cover the doors quickly? I know. I'll run back into that room and tell everyone to seal the doors.
No one must leave.
Yes. Lots of magic behind the windows and possibly outside the doors, so do be careful when locking. I will be right back, and I will leave Prince alone in the corridor.
And I will turn to the French lizard maid, which is, as we know, redundant. And just tell me, miss, what did you see?
Oh, it's awful. Come on up. He's dead. The master is dead. I don't know what happened. I just came in and he was dead.
Now, when you say dead, how? I mean, a person may die in many different ways.
I don't know how he died, but he's dead. No.
Yes, but was he strangled? Did he appear to die of natural causes? Was his head cut off? Was he stabbed? And if he was stabbed, was it with a dagger, with an axe, or was it bludgeoned with a hammer? Tell me. What?
I don't know. I don't have tear ducts to convey that my tears would be running. Oh, it's awful. Too many questions. See for yourself. Oh.
And she's just beside herself, banging her head off the railing as she's looking down at you, and she just
Oh no. I start patting her awkwardly on the back. Perhaps I took the wrong tack. There. Everything will be all right. Tell me, did you see anything out of place? Did you hear anything unusual? What were you doing before you found your master dead?
I just came into the room to make his bed, and he was dead laying there. Ah!
On the bed or on the floor?
On the floor. Go look, damn it. Ah!
Instead, Luce, we'll cut over to you because you take this time to walk back into the dining area. What would you like to do in there?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep concentration on my detect magic spell, so as I walk in, I should be able to detect any magic within 30 feet of myself. And as I step in, I will stand quickly on a chair. I will take up a glass and smash it with a spoon. I believe that's the tradition. Smash. Listen, everyone, listen. There's been a murder. So no one can leave. Everybody must buddy up with someone and make sure they don't leave. Preferably with two people. Make sure they both don't leave. Anyone could be a suspect. It could be you. I'm going to pick someone at random. It could be our very own Jennings. I point at Jennings.
What?
Make sure no one leaves. Lock all the doors and let's calmly deal with what's going on.
Okay. You look around and they're all looking kind of shocked. Oh, did you hear that? A murder. Except for the one creature. You look around the table and you see that there is a Vidalcan man. Vidalcan are the blue-skinned, somewhat elven-like in features. They're usually have bald heads and they're very how do I put it? Not emotionally charged people. But you see a Vidalcan man sitting next to it looks to be an amorphous blob-like creature that has electricity lightly shimmering off its exterior. So it looks to be kind of like a very still and docile pudding that's electrically charged. You see next to him on the Izzet side, the small goblin sitting with his feet up, kicked back in the chair, very, very informal style. And next to him, also on the Izzet side, you see a human woman who is just sitting there with her hands latched together and just looking at you like, she's very affected by the fact that there is death, and also the Dragonborn who is now just taking a seat. It seems as though your announcement has made it clear to her that her business arguing with the Azorius member, the Azorius woman, is not that important. So she takes a seat next to her Azorius mates on the left side of the table. And as far as your detect magic, you see that Can you roll a nature check for me, please?
Yes, I can roll it, of course. I'm not going to say I'm going to roll well, but I can give it a little go.
Oh yeah, definitely doesn't have to be well.
That is a 4. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you can tell there's magic coming from the blobby creature, but you're not exactly sure what it is. Though it seems to be responding to the Vidalcan talking to it. Just kind of moves and jiggles a little bit. But it's magical. And you can see that the goblin has several metal devices on it. Something metal on its wrist, and like a metal sash that goes across the center of it. And you see magic coming, small doses of magic permeating from those. Some of them abjuration, others evocation.
And can I detect what school of magic it is coming from this blob creature?
The blob creature would be. I don't know if it's so much a school. I guess if it was, it looks to be like transmutation magic.
Transmutation magic, perhaps using something to keep themselves in place. I do know of people who use magic to maintain form and things, so where possible, I would appreciate it if no one took up their weapons, if no one embraced or tried to use any forms of magic. Any use of such will automatically make you a suspect, or more of a prime suspect than anyone else, so please refrain where possible.
And I'll sort of just make eye contact with the blob creature.
Okay. Yeah, the blob creature doesn't have any eyes, but it kind of shifts. It's shaped roughly humanoid, so it shifts its upper part toward you, and then back to straight. The Vidalcan taps it, and you can see like electricity kind of sizzle over the top of his hand as he pets it.
Yeah, he will be fine. He'll be fine. No magic. No magic.
Does it drop its magic?
No, he just taps it, and he's telling you that
He'll be fine.
Right, good. I'm going to do a little investigation. Please make sure no one leaves. Let's lock the doors. We're possibly all trapped in here with a murderer. Oh, isn't that exciting? I'm going to go do some investigation upstairs. Everyone keep an eye on one another. Don't let anyone do anything alone, because they could genuinely die. I'll be back shortly now. And I'll leave the room. Jennings, lock the doors.
Yes.
yeah, I can do that.
Yes. Okay.
He starts walking over to the opposite end of the room. You did notice that on the there's a lot less people on the Azorius side than on the Izzet side. There is a darker skinned male sitting next to the darker skinned female, and they are chatting. She has seemed to have calmed down from the argument earlier, and there's also a Vidalcan man who has yet to say anything, who just watching you when you're speaking. Pretty much whoever's speaking or seems to be taking control of the current vibe in the room. He's just watching, barely blinking. And yeah, that's it as far as people in this room. Jennings goes and he starts closing up the doors, the two doors on the opposite side of this dining room, and you go back into the greeting room. You go back in the greeting room. You see Prince up on the balcony of this room, or upstairs. You see Prince talking to a very distraught Viashino woman.
Come look. It's horrible.
Ah, my colleague is there. Finally.
Yes, I was reassuring everyone, making them all feel safe.
Oh, fantastic. And I'm going to pull Installa Luce aside a little bit. And I'm going to say, listen, my friend, this isn't just because you are more experienced than I am, and I've seen more years than I have. You must take the lead in this investigation. You see, in all of the tales that have ever been told of situations such as this, the handsome young man must follow the wise elderly man and write of his adventures with reverence and respect, but true deep friendship as well.
I prefer dragonkin to man, but otherwise I agree. Yes, carry on.
Yes, details.
Semantics, I know, semantics.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, things must be done properly, according to all the old ways that I have learned through many tales. And I shall be most glad to give you this first role.
Excellent. Yes, I will represent the Boris Legion.
And that shall be its handsome face.
Yes, you can be its handsome face, yes. Well, let's go and have a look at the body then, shall we? Now then, Nursey, let's go and see what's going on. I'm addressing the maid.
Yeah, he's just kind of looking at you to like,
This is You two love yourselves, don't you? It's great.
There is much to love.
Boros Legion. We're all safe.
Indeed.
So she takes you to pretty much right behind you. There's an open door, the next room down on this balcony area. You can see that there are rooms the whole way. This is essentially a horseshoe from the front door. This is a horseshoe above it, two sides, and then the back. So she takes you to it's like one room down. There's an open door, and she walks inside and kind of, like, look here. And you see that it is a study. You walk into a study, rather dimly lit. There is a fireplace, and that has no fire going in it. And there is a lantern sitting on top of a table. And next to the table, or desk, I should say, next to the desk on the floor is a heavy bearded man laying arm on his chest, and the other arm laying out at full length. And he's laying there with his mouth gaped wide open, his face slightly gaunt and pale, with a look of terror. And he's very much dead. There is also what seems to be a sitting couch in this room, a potted plant, and what else? Also a writing desk. Not his desk, but like just a simple, maybe he would have somebody take minutes, or or a secretary just write down what he's saying as he's speaking something over. This is the man of the house. This is she introduces him as Mr. Merle Conklin. He is a rich Izette noble.
Ah, well, that's most interesting. A rich is a noble named... Well, let's have a look at him, shall we? I imagine I'm getting towards the end of my 10 minutes, but can I squeeze a last magic detection out of you without proccing another spell slot?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You'll say you're like 8 minutes right now. You're looking around, and the only magical thing you see in the room is something under his hand that's on his chest.
Ah.
Seems to be magical energy kind of popping out through.
Now then, Prince, you see the way the body is lying on the ground?
Yes.
I would like you to remember that as though it was a picture.
I have excellent memory.
Excellent, because I'm about to disturb him to see what he's holding. He's holding something magical.
Very well. Wait. I am focusing? Yes, I see it. All right, you may proceed.
You got it?
Yes, got it.
I can give you a couple of moments. If you like, we can see if we can fetch some bloody parchment like we asked that damn butler to get us a moment ago, and we can draw a sketch of it.
No, I have spent many hours perfecting my memory. Once in there, it never goes away.
Brilliant! Well, that's good enough for me. Well then, let's have a look at this thing. I'm going to take my quarterstaff. I'm going to poke his hand to try and reveal what is clutched beneath. I don't want to touch him myself. Magical items, they can sometimes in contact with skin. If it's that killed him, it's best to use a stick to get it away from the body.
Would you like to use my rapier?
No, it's metal, you see. It could be lightning matching.
Okay, so you use your quarterstaff and you lift the gentleman's hand up off of his chest. And as you lift it up, you see the energy comes out more. You can see it more visible. With your detect magic still up, you can tell that it's some kind of enchantment. And with a closer look, enchantment magic on a piece of paper. There's a piece of paper folded underneath his hand.
Well, that piece of paper, Prince, has some sort of enchantment written on it. This is almost certainly evidence.
Yes.
Can I...
Hello?
Can I make an Arcana check to see if I could read the note without setting off the spell? Like, I don't want to actually read it. I just want to see whether I'd know that. You know, like, don't say the words of the prophecy, for it will come true. Whether it's like that, or whether an enchantment is just like a, hey, touch it and be affected, or speak it and be affected, or whatever. Read it and be affected.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check. Make it with advantage.
Thank you.
For this particular endeavor.
A 24.
Not that you need it. But,
I'm pretty good with magic as things go.
So you can tell that the enchantment is on the paper. It doesn't come from the paper. So by reading it doesn't unleash the enchantment. The enchantment is just on the paper. It's having an effect because of the paper, not because of what's written on it.
Curious. It would seem that the paper is holding the enchantment. Well, let's do the main checks first. Look at handwriting, see if there's someone there. Maybe the enchantment actually says, I bloody killed him. He encroached on my fence one too many times. Most common cause, dispute between two neighbors, territory. And okay, let's. I'm going to use the staff to try and open up the piece of paper. I still don't want to touch it. I don't trust it.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of slide it off of his belly, and it kind of flops down and flops to the floor, and you give it another little tap with your quarterstaff, and the paper opens up, and you can see it's just normal, common handwriting, and it's a note of sorts, and the note only has but a couple sentences, and it says, "Under the weight of this man's debts, 13 shall pay or never rest. The odds are slim at 100 to 1, but when he pays his debt, the deal is done."
I say, what do you make of this, Prince?
Aha! Poetry, my forte.
I thought it might have been.
Can I...
Maybe... go ahead. You guys can deduce some stuff, and while you're doing that, I will actually.
Do you have the text somewhere?
Yeah, I'll write it. I guess I should have done it. Go ahead and discuss it. While you're discussing your findings, I will give you each a note copy of this so that you know what it says.
Yes, let's see.
Now,
Clearly, the enemy is a learned person.
They must be. Yes, rhyming couplets. That does take some skill.
This rhyming scheme itself is very interesting. Why, my professors might have something to say about it. The choice of words.
I say, are there an equal number of syllables in each line? How much care have they put into this note, eh?
I shall tell you when I have reread it.
Yeah, I'm I'm a slow typer, diligently pecking away here.
Yes, perhaps I could make an intelligence check anyway, just to see how learned this person would be to concoct this poem.
Well, it is not an iambic pentameter, so that tells me that learned they may be, but not as learned as I.
That is certainly a very long word. You are almost definitely very learned. Oh, yes. What is the paper made of? Is it plain parchment?
Or is it vellum?
Yes, it is plain parchment. You can tell that the paper itself there's nothing special about it, other than the fact that there is some sort of enchantment on it.
What about the calligraphy? Is it written with a beautiful hand?
Yes, it is. Actually, how about can both of you do a history check with disadvantage?
Indeed, I can. The crackling started again.
Yes, it has.
Crackling?
Yeah,
Yes.
my audio issues again.
Oh, my audio?
Yeah, it's gone again. I don't know what it is.
Oh.
I thought we had it solved. We got an hour in.
Hold on, let me adjust. I don't get it. Nothing changed.
Oh, I got a nat 1 with my history check, so the bloody calligraphy baffles me.
Not exactly sure. Testing.
It's still crackly.
So,
I don't understand.
I mean, we can understand what you're saying. Fine. It's just the crackling is silly.
Oh,
Okay, can you hear me?
yes, it sounds fantastic.
It sounds good now?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I just unplugged the whole interface and I don't know why I have to, but strange. Okay, so almost done with the note. When he pays his debt.
Debt.
His debt,
And the number 13 is meaningful.
the deal is done.
13. 13 is a prime number. It's apparently unlucky for some, eh? Eh? Yes, and today it is, yes.
How many people are there in total in the building? Like that we saw? Were there 13?
That you've seen? It all depends on what you consider a person.
Well, any sentient being.
True. But now, yes, with the three of you, there would be. Hold on, let me go. Okay, so there's the note. Let me give you the note, and let's see here. Let's go over your history check. Then I'll hit the number thing. It's got to go. You can tell that this is common writing, but there's something strange about the style. It doesn't quite seem natural the way it's written. There's no flourish to it. It looks
Mechanical?
very cookie cutter. Not so much mechanical, but there's almost like the writing itself seems to have a kind of undefined edging to it, as though it might not have been written with a pen. Maybe something magical, but the writing itself isn't magical. There's a bit of like a fuzzy haze around each letter itself. It doesn't look like it has any kind of normal writing pattern. It's just like the
maybe
letters were
stamped on, sort of.
Yeah, kind of like a stamp. Yeah, less mechanical, more of a stamp. But a stamp with some kind of
Well now, Prince, what I can tell you about this note is that it is not magical. Everything else pretty much stumps me about it. What have you got?
The letters, there is something odd about them, though I can't quite put my finger on it. Not sure that I've ever seen anything entirely like it, except perhaps stamping.
Like the coins?
Not unlike it, indeed. I'm gonna smell the paper.
Okay.
Must use all of my senses.
Yes.
Taste
Go
a little
ahead.
bit of the corner as well while I'm at it.
Oh, don't touch it. There's still an enchantment on it. Could have killed the blighter.
You could do either a nature check or a perception check if you'd like. On the smell. Smell check.
Ooh, smell check.
The sniff
Scratch
test
and-
is an important test.
Yes,
Let me
scratch and sniff.
see which one's better. Perception.
12. Okay. Smells like parchment.
The smell of my childhood.
So as far as your numbers question, so far that you've met, there is the Vidalcan man with the blobus creature. There is the dragonborn woman.
Mm-hmm.
Is that dragonborn woman? There is that human woman?
Right.
There is that goblin. And then on the Azorius side of the table, there was the human male and human female. The female that was arguing with the dragonborn and a man sitting next to her. And there's also a Vidalcan male, the one with the staring problem. Also, there was the Viashino man and the Viashino woman. That's all that you met.
Right.
Right.
So that would be those 10 plus the maid plus the two of us. So would that be 13 in total? Did I count right?
I made it to 9.
I mean, there's also Jennings as well.
And Jennings. Right?
Jennings, and then me and you. I've got 12.
And the dead guy.
Ah, yes, and the dead guy. So 12 and one dead person. Oh, it looks like we're all doomed to die then. No, that's a shame, really. I would have liked it if there was 13 or 14 of us. Because then they would have known that the culprit is in full sight. I haven't detected any invisibility, although it has worn off now, I must admit. But I haven't detected any visibility about the place or anything like that.
Don't you see, my friend? This is fantastic. What a mystery. What adventure. Oh, I am so excited. Someone is out to kill us.
Yes, it would seem that way. Stay away from the potted plants, is my advice.
Are there any potted plants around?
There's one in this room, yes.
I've been eyeing it nervously.
I do not understand your problem with plants, but I shall take your veteran advice to heart.
It's a bit of a vor problem. It happened some weeks ago. Don't worry about it. Essentially, we need to go and... well, I suggest we start questioning everyone, really. We're looking for someone who has at least a friend who might own a coin company. That is quite learned to have come up with such a good rhyme. And also has a disagreement or is a creditor to this dead individual. I wonder, does he have like a study, perhaps a
You're standing in his study right now.
What did he die of? Like, it's just the magic, just an enchantment. What does it look like it did to him?
I guess you'd have to look around, look at him, move the body, examine the body, smell the body.
Lick the body.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Everybody has their own techniques.
It's an important test.
It's very important in geology, I hear.
It's like everything.
No, I'll look around for an arbor or other document storing device. Maybe a desk with drawers or something. Why don't you investigate the body? Now, you've got a clear picture, haven't you, of how we found it?
Absolutely. His right arm was... no, it was the left arm that was bent. I remember. And I go and I start sort of turning him around and having a look.
Oh, okay. You're gonna roll him over?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the hilt of my rapier. So I'm not actually touching him, but...
Okay. So he was laying on his back with his left hand over his chest and the letter underneath it, and the right arm stretched completely out. So which way would you like to roll him?
Like away from me. I don't know which side of him I am.
Okay, take your pick. It's a very open space here. He kind of died right in front of his desk in the open room, his open study.
Okay, I just roll him leftwise.
Okay. So roll him, take his extended arm and put it over him, or roll him onto his extended arm. Shapes.
Oh, bloody hell!
Yeah.
As
I
instead of
guess over the arm.
As instead of Luce stands and goes to the desk, he immediately turns back around. Bloody hell, have we actually checked he's dead? Is there any chance we can save the blighter? I'll rush across and put fingers to do the checks. I'll do a medicine check to see if there's any chance that he could be saved.
Okay. Yeah, you check him for a pulse. Go ahead and do a medicine check.
I really should have done this first. I do apologize. That'll be a 7.
Okay. He's dead. He's dead.
Oh, thank God, he's dead. All right, good. We didn't miss a beat there. You carry on, Prince. Sorry to interrupt. I nearly had a heart attack there when I realized that he might still be alive. You carry on.
So that is how they get rid of you. Do you have a weak heart?
No, I've got a rather large cart back at the farm.
Right. I see how that misunderstanding happened. And I look at I do look at the body.
Okay. You roll whatever some. Look at it. It's a dead guy. It smells like he might have let go of something in his trousers before he died or when he died. But other than that, it's just a dead body. Go ahead and do an investigation check as you kind of comb him over without touching him. Okay. Yeah, just kind of poking around, rolling him over, looking for clues. You're looking at the body and excuse me. Though he's wearing a collared shirt with a pin, the symbol of the the dragon pin, wearing a gold pin that is still there, and he's not wearing a tie. He's got an open neck collared shirt on with a vest and a pair of slacks. He's a very well dressed man, and mouth just still hanging open. The face of what he saw was probably just horrible before death.
There's nothing more heartbreaking than the death of a man with style. Like, does he have anything in his pockets? Letters or...
Would you like to go into his pockets?
Yeah, I'll rifle through his pockets.
Okay.
His
So
pockets is precious.
you go from the ginger poking of the hilt of the rapier to you start going through his pockets, and you find a small coin bag in his left pocket, and also what is that? Oh, okay, a dagger in his right pocket, a more so letter opener, less of a dagger, but it could service as a dagger in his right pocket, and 2 gems in his chest pocket of his vest. There is an emerald and a sapphire.
Would that suggest anything? Would that possibly be symbolic?
Maybe. You can do like a history check or religion check if you'd like to maybe try to associate that with one or the other. Something you've read about or something you've religiously gleaned. Okay, we're on a roll. Yeah, no, it just seems like 2 gems in a pocket.
I'm gonna grab the coin purse and I'm gonna look at the others and go like, now, if I am not mistaken, I would say that I believe there are exactly 13 coins in this bag, and I'm going to count them. Am I right at all?
Okay. Well, there's like 32 coins in the bag.
Close enough.
That equal out to 91 gold pieces worth of coins.
All right.
If you're talking, Scrat, you're muted.
Yes, it was sort of a silent reaction to the amount of money.
Well, I just put the items on the floor next to the body, like lined up. What do you say, old friend? Shall we look at the paperwork on the desk?
Yes, whilst you've been doing that, that's exactly what I've been doing. Not only have I been doing that, Kyle, I would like to have spent, it's probably been about 5 minutes, but I would like to spend 10 minutes casting Detect Poison and Disease as a ritual.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I'll be doing that by like moving things around the desk, being very careful not to... Obviously, I'm trying to detect poison, so I'm not like picking up lollies and licking them. I'm trying to be careful of what I do on the desk, but I'm seeing if perhaps there was some poison at play.
Okay, sure. If you're ritually casting it, that'll take you 10 minutes to cast. Okay, so you start looking around the desk in the meantime?
I still need a minute over here. I'll be sort of kind of investigating, but I'm more focusing on the casting than the searching. I just need another 5 minutes or so, and then I'll be right with you, Prince.
All right, I will continue studying this very interesting letter here. Under the weight of this man's debts. Oh, wait.
Install Luce. I'm sorry. Roll an investigation check as you're casually checking the desk. Okay, go ahead, Prince. You said you were checking the letter, Prince?
Yeah, I'm looking at that letter.
Oh, okay. Install Luce. You're looking at the paperwork, casually looking at the paperwork on top of his desk, and you see there is a letter that looks like it was done recently, handwritten. The title head at the top is the Steamworks Restoration Project, and at the bottom it is signed by Mr. Merle Conklin.
No, Merle Conklin. And am I right in assuming that this is the person on the floor dead?
Yes, the Viashino woman addressed him as such.
Yeah. I'm just making sure that he wasn't in the main hall or anything like that, and I hadn't missed anything. Right. Well, and can you just go through the details of the letter again for me, one more time?
Sure. It looks like it's a bunch of technical jargon, but you can tell a lot of it is with that investigation. It's very good. Architectural terms. As far as the Steamworks themselves, locations, you see Precinct 1 referred to in a couple of stuff, and a few street names, and they are not to be these steam generating devices are not to be within so many blocks of each other, and there are to be conjunction points at block A and street X, and
I imagine instead of just sort of like scan reading, really like sort of in between, like, because he's mainly looking for poison, so he's lifting things up on the desk, looking around, doing another scan of the next paragraph, then going back and looking at mysterious perfume bottles that might be around and that sort of thing, would just be gleaning. There is a letter over here, Prince. It seems awfully technical. Do you know much about steam?
Only post-workout steam, I'm afraid. But I'll have a look.
I'll just pass the letter back to you. There you go. Why did you compare the handwriting? Yes, that's logical thinking, isn't it? Right now.
Indeed it is. Does it look anything alike?
No, it doesn't. Remember, the letter barely looks handwritten. It looks more so as though like it was just bloop, plop there. There's no swoops. It looks more like it was written maybe by some kind of weird typewriter that adds a gradients to the letters.
Are there other names on the letter about the Steamworks other than Conklin?
No, it looks like he just handwrote this probably not very long ago.
Mm-hmm.
It is just a general overview of something called the Steamworks project.
Did you find anything else?
I'm still working on it. I think I'm on about minute 8. It'll be there in another couple.
Ah, yes. We must make those little grey cells work.
Okay. About a minute later, your spell pops up, and you're looking around, and there doesn't seem to be any sign of disease or poison in this area.
Well, no poison. No poison at all.
Well, I have looked at the note again. Now look at this. I didn't catch this the first time, but it says, under the weight of this man's debts. And then at the end it says, but when he pays his debt, the deal is done, which to me suggests that the man this note refers to is not, in fact, the victim. This man is still alive and very likely holds all the answers that we need. What say you?
Where did you put that bloody letter? I'd quite like to look at it myself.
Here.
It's in your handouts.
It's in there.
In the handouts. Lovely. What I'm also going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste it into the Roll20 chat so chat can look at it with us as well.
Yes. Very good.
Under the age of 13 shall pay and never rest. The odds are slim at 100 to 1. But when he pays his debt, the deal is done. I didn't catch that 100 to 1 part last time. That sounds a bit like gambling.
Indeed it does. Well, we know that the person with all the answers is a man.
Well, yes, that does narrow it down somewhat. At least a race that is assignable the male man gender, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Not likely to be an elf. Gets awfully confusing.
That depends on how specific on the semantics the author of the note was.
Well, this is true.
I suppose that maybe being a little bit more detailed would have... it wouldn't have scanned as well.
Yes. I mean, it could also be a syllable thing. I haven't counted them yet, but I know poets often worry about syllables, you know.
No, indeed we do, indeed.
Yes, you know.
Everything I say is, in fact, perfectly thought out and metered.
Yeah,
You
I
just
suppose
don't know.
unique individual is quite a few syllables, whereas man's just one, so...
But odds are they didn't think quite that far.
The odds
That's-
are slim at 100 to 1. Right. Why don't we go and start questioning the people down in the main hall? What we can do is figure out if anyone is A, got a gambling problem, or B, a problem making deals with people they shouldn't.
Or C is broke.
That's also a very good point. And it looks at the pile of coins. I see he was quite wealthy.
Yes, we should put this aside somewhere safe as evidence.
Yes, I will put it in a little bag and place it in my pocket for the time being.
That seems safe enough to me.
And I'll take out a small cloth sack. I will gather the coins into it and then close it up.
Yes, evidence. Put it in my... in my...
Oh, evidence.
Exhibit A.
Yes, evidence. Or D is holding a bloody knife. That's true. Did we figure out what killed him, Prince?
I thought you'd said magic.
Well, yes, I know magic, but
I am an artist. You tell me.
Before we leave, Dungeon Master, can I check that it was the enchantment that killed him?
Sure. How would you like to go about that?
I guess it would... your call, Arcana check or Detect Magic? Detect Magic will cost me another spell slot. Unless I cast it as a ritual.
You already had Detect Magic enrolling
Yeah,
through
that's
here. It doesn't really... It wouldn't really determine his cause of death. All it determined was that the note was magical.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll an Arcana check. See if you can draw some kind of correlation to... from the effects on his body to the magical note. Yeah, you can't really make a connection. There doesn't seem to be any correlation between the two.
do you know what? Actually, there doesn't seem to be any relation between the note having killed the blighter and him being dead. I would say, actually, that perhaps it is not magic at all, just that he's holding something magical, which leads to all sorts of questions about this flaming note and why it's enchanted, but leaves the question open as to how did he die.
It's a shame we don't have a cleric who could open him up and see inside. They always do that in all of the stories. Rather ghastly, and I would not be able to watch, but I believe that is what they do.
Well, we are quite sure he's dead. I mean, I am a druid. I could have a look, and I know enough about nature to know the things that do things.
Yeah.
Can you do an autopsy?
Well, I can have a little look. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to give a full autopsy, but I can have a look and see if there's anything obvious. Perhaps a note in the stomach lining saying I bloody did it.
And I'm digesting. Okay, so you can do a medicine check. What exactly would you like to do to the dead body?
At this point, Prince, could I borrow your rapier?
I would rather you used a dagger.
Either way, could you lend me one? I've only got well, I do have a sickle, but it's for gathering herbs. I'd hate to get blood all over the stalks.
I look at the desk. Is there like a dagger or something?
Yeah, well, you have a dagger laying next to him that you pulled out of his pocket. As far as that,
contaminating the evidence. Use the man's dagger.
Is the dagger bloody?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's very pristine and regal looking dagger / letter opener.
It looks. A rapier is really more for piercing. Use the man's letter opener.
The letter it's going to be bloody hard to get a body open with a letter opener, but here we go. Right, and I'll start plunging the letter opener in and sort of like.
You start pulling and it.
Now watch out, this bit's going to smell a little bit. This is where the intestines are, and I start cutting that open, peeling back the skin, opening it out.
Prince faints for a minute.
Go ahead and make a medicine check as you let her open the victim.
How many nat ones have I rolled this session? Like, that's can't be my fault.
Okay, so your initial plunge into his lung, it deflates what was left in his chest, and you start ripping down. You kind of graze over the top of his sternum, and you're pushing so hard to get through the bone that you didn't think that you thought you had to go through that you didn't. That once you get off the rib cage, you kind of push it way down in, and you feel the blade. You feel it poke out of his back. Now your hands all the way down in him between organs, and the two of you start to see a pool of blood form underneath the man's body, as there is now a hole in his back.
On a nat one, can I also please demand some blood splatter as well? I'd like us both to be covered in blood.
Sure,
not quite Dracula Dead and Loving It style, but
yeah, sure.
Plenty of blood splatter.
As you were pushing real hard to get over the cage and go down in it, it just sloshes up, and Prince, you get blood, a fine splatter up your garb and onto your neck. Instead,
I let out a very high pitched shriek of horror.
Instead, Luce, you have your arm is your elbow deep in it. And you also have it all over the side of your face.
Yeah, and I'm a white Dragonborn as well, so it's very stark. I look a lot like our current Dragon Age poster.
Yeah.
But when I've finished doing it, what can I tell on that medicine check? We've done a lot of description of what I did, but can I tell anything?
Well, yeah, he ate well. You...
Is that beef or lamb?
He doesn't seem to. You seem to have done more damage to his body than anything that killed him. It doesn't seem that everything looks normal on the inside, other than what you just did. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary.
Right, well, there's nothing in here, nothing at all. I'll stitch him back up, and I'll just stitch him back up. I'm gonna try and put him back.
Whatever for. The man is already dead. He doesn't care.
Well, yes, but we've got to we may have to replicate the crime scene at some point.
Oh yes, I remember. His left arm was extended over his head, and his right arm was pointing north.
And if anyone else needs to see it, probably be best if there wasn't blood everywhere. Let's what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting things back together.
Oh, I have a question, DM. Is the maid still around?
No, she left. No, she left when you guys started. Or not the examining, but yeah, when you took the note out and everything, she left.
I would like to cast Mending on his flesh to mend it back together and mend the damage inside as much as possible. And I'll be... Oh, Christ, I didn't take prestidigitation. And I'll be using Druidcraft to make the blood smell floral.
Okay, sure. The mending isn't working so well for you, but after you stitch them up, you can, like the stitching, you can strengthen with the mending. His innards, the organic material isn't responding to the spell. But the stitching does. And the smell.
Try and
floral in here.
I'll try an experimental cure wounds just to see if the body reacts to the spell or not. I'll spend the spells on this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
Just a level one. Just a little
tap.
It is gonna get any better than it currently is.
And you cast a spell, and the living or the non-living tissue doesn't respond to the repairing that it would normally receive had he been alive.
Well, that's the best I can do, Prince.
That's excellent work. I start rearranging the body in what I now think was the actual position he was in originally.
Okay.
Which looks nothing like it did because
Because it was opened.
When you're finished,
I'm
instead of
trying very hard not
Luce,
to touch
sort
it.
of looks over your shoulder and is like, "Oh, sure, it looked like that. And looks like one of the village people.
Who are the village people?
They hang out at the local village
Oh,
nearby."
The one thing you did notice, even though your medicine check and Arcana check and most of the other ones were not ones, the one thing you did notice is that the body was still slightly warm on the inside.
Rather warm on the inside there.
so the death was recent.
Yes, must have been killed rather recently. Perhaps when the maid screamed.
Well, no, she screamed after she saw, unless the maid did it.
Right, so our number one suspect will be the maid.
Yes.
Let's start by questioning her before we get everyone else excited.
That is an excellent idea. Let's separate her from the group. And then I shall apply all my persuasion. The interrogation.
Dun, dun, dun.
I can be quite terrifying.
The way the rolls are saying, yeah, they should be afraid. Okay, so where would you two like to head first?
To find the maid.
Okay, you walk out of the study. You look down off the balcony. The greeting room is empty. You can hear some muffled conversation coming from the dining room. Would you like to go down and go into the dining room, or where would you like to go?
I guess I'm gonna check real quick that she's not in the dining room.
Okay.
And check on situation there. Is everyone behaving?
Covered in blood.
Where's Colonel Mustard or whatever his name is?
Yeah. Okay. So you get out of the dining room, you open up the door, and you see Jennings just kind of standing right inside the door. Oh, wow! You two have been gone a long time. Everyone's still alive in here. And you look around and you see the Izette members and the Azorius members sitting at the table. And Jennings is in here. No maid.
Jennings,
No.
hold down the fort. There is crime afoot. And I close the door. I go back to
Don't leave me in
Instagram.
that. And he closes it in his face. Ah.
Right. The maid never told me her name, did she?
No.
I start walking around calling out, Miss! Hey, Miss!
And that's exactly what Stella Luce was doing while Prince went to the diary room going, Maid, Nursie, where have you gone?
You're yelling for the maid.
Is there like a servant's bell or something I can ring?
You look around for some kind of thing to signal the maid. No, there's nothing sitting around. Though the door that the cook to the kitchen that the cook was coming in and out of earlier opens up, and the cook comes out, all disheveled, and comes over to you, Estelle Luce, and grabs at you.
Yes, hello.
She's dead too. She's dead, my beloved. No, she's dead.
What?
I thought you were going to save us all.
I'm doing my bloody best. Prince, we found another one.
Another what?
And possibly, another corpse. We may have to investigate this one too.
Well then.
Hey, this is a new person, isn't it? This adds to our count. Now we've got 13. How many of you are there in this building?
Everyone else should be in there. Should I be in there?
No.
Is it not safe out here?
You are now the prime suspect.
What? No, I would never kill my beloved.
Did you owe your beloved any money?
No.
Did you owe anyone any money?
No.
Are you married?
Not anymore. She's dead in the next room.
Ah, so you were married. What was your relationship like with your in-laws?
I don't. I've never met them.
A likely story. Note that down, Prince. They hate it when you make notes.
I
No.
shall keep that in my infallible memory.
Yes! I'll have you know that my associate here has an impeccable memory, so anything you say will be noted down in her head and
Used
may
against you in a court of law.
may well be used against you. Now then. How do you feel about gambling?
This is not the time for gambling. My wife.
How
Check on her.
do you feel about the number 13?
I don't.
Does
You are bad at your jobs. Jack, help her, please.
Yeah.
She might be still alive. She seemed very dead.
You haven't checked on your beloved?
I did check, but I'm not a doctor. I am a cook.
A likely story. Come with us as we go and inspect this new body.
Okay.
After you, my colleague.
Yes, let's go and look at the body. I say, still carrying the paper letter opener knife.
I go after the cook, like sort of like poking him in the back with my rapier.
He's holding his head in his hands. Oh no, it's so horrible.
I imagine blood is both running off of my scale and off of the blade. As we walk.
Yeah, you walk in like a murderer, looking for a murderer. So yeah, you walk into the kitchen, and it smells kind of pleasant in here. Things seem to be mostly cleaned up. It seems as though this Viashino man is done for his with his cooking duties for the day. There on the floor, almost right in front of the door, is the dead body of the maid.
Is she dead?
I will go and investigate. Yes. I will walk across and I'd like to do another medicine check.
I start looking for a kitchen knife for the autopsy.
You see plenty of knives, hanging around, so that won't be a problem this time. A 10 medicine check. I mean, that's we're moving up there. We're out of that one range, so we're making progress. So as you look over the maid, she still has the bonnet on with the chin strap, and her mouth open and her eyes blank. She's dead. She's definitely dead.
There's another one that seems to be dead.
Dead.
Dead indeed, yes. Yes, dead.
The cause of death isn't very apparent, though. She has no wounds on her. She doesn't look like she was gasping for breath. She just has her. Oh my! Oh my!
Oh dear.
That's the sound of the cook as he fell over.
Yes.
Understandable at this point.
She has her hand on her chest. One hand on her chest, her left hand on her chest, and the other one's just laying limp next to her.
Is it the same position that the other body was in?
No, all but the extended arm isn't fully extended like it was upstairs. So it's just kind of laying there with her hand on her chest and her mouth gaped open like she saw something horrific.
I think we can all relate to that.
And where were you when she was dying? I asked the cook.
I was gathering the rest of the dishes from the dining room, and I came back in, and she was here, and she was dead.
But you didn't see her fall over and die.
No, she was fine when I left the kitchen. I went and into the dining room, and I came back, and she was dead. Why is this happening?
So convenient that you left just as she died, don't you think?
No, because she was alive when I left.
I grab him by the front of his clothes, and I look at him like really close, like, "Are you lying to me?"
No, I can't cry or I would, but I'm so hurt right now. I'm not lying. I loved her, and Mr. Conklin was good to us.
Can I tell if he's lying?
Go ahead and do an insight check.
Trust no one.
He seems to be telling the truth.
God damn it.
Doesn't seem to be shady at all. He seems quite distraught. And
All right, you understand we have to ask, and I sort of like tidy up his clothing. Who else has access to the kitchen?
Anyone who walks in.
Are there any other exits except for the one we came in through?
No. I mean, this is what you see is what you get. This is where I work.
Well, I am stumped.
I mean, there's a pantry right there, but as you can see, the door's open.
Aha! I jump into the pantry with my rapier in hand.
You jump into the pantry, and all it is just a small room with shelves, and it's like a larder. It just has a bunch of food in it, dry goods.
I start poking around with my rapier to see if there are like hidden people or invisible people.
Okay, you poke a sack that looks a little bit suspicious, and rice starts pouring out of the hole onto the floor. Yeah,
It was gluten indeed.
Yes, it's gluten that did them in.
It always is at the end of the day.
It was the rice all along, or something.
Please, you must catch this murderer. He cannot go free.
You will stay in this pantry. And I chuck him in the pantry and I close the door behind him.
Oh. Why? No, they'll get me here for sure.
There is nothing in that pantry. You are the safest man in this house.
Why do I not feel that way? You're gonna do me. They killed her here. They'll kill me here.
Well, let's lock you in then. You're alone, right?
Yeah?
Are there any windows in that room?
No?
Can you feel around for any hidden doorways, any secret passages? We should probably have done that when we were in there.
I'll head in with him and have a little double check.
Okay, you open the door
That could
back
be
up.
dangerous. It could be a trap.
You're right, Prince. You'd better do it.
I'm a thinking man, not a doing man.
Yes, but I almost certainly can't leave the body here. You're quite right. Dangerous tasks. It's all for the man with the rapier ready in his hand. Good luck.
Well,
Follow my direction, you said.
yes, indeed, I did. Okay, I'm ready. I open the door and I go inside and start poking around for a secret passage.
Okay, go ahead and do a investigation check as you poke around some more into the pantry. I don't think anybody's got above like. Oh, never mind. There's a 21 investigation earlier. Okay.
When I was casually investigating.
Yeah. When it was just
When it matters.
So you're looking around. Doesn't seem to be any secret compartments, secret hatches. The Viashino is like,
There's nothing here. I work here every day. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Please don't leave me in here.
Trust me, this is the best place for you. And you will not go hungry.
True. But what if I have to go number 2?
Hold it in, man.
Oh.
you will sulk as you close the door.
Now, tell me, I'm looking at this body. Are there any obvious murder wounds on this body?
No. Yeah, no. As you guys checked it over earlier, there doesn't seem to be any indication on how the Viashino woman died.
Does this appear to be magical?
You can do an Arcana check.
Eventually, I'll roll a good one, right?
Yes, odds are with you. Eventually, it doesn't seem to be any magic or magical means resonating from this situation, though it doesn't look natural.
And is this person definitely dead? On my
Yes,
10
yes.
medicine check, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes me feel less guilty about the last body. Well,
If only I had prepared detect thoughts. This would have gone very quickly.
I guess it's time to do another autopsy and figure out exactly what killed him.
One by one, we'll just.
Eventually, we'll find something. Nothing on the outside. There's got to be something on the inside somewhere. Unless you have any wonderful insights, Prince.
I gave him one of the kitchen knives. This one looks sharp.
Okay. This is definitely sharper and bigger than the letter opener that you were used earlier.
Right, well, let's get him open then.
Oh, I go to the pantry door and I call out, "Hey, Mr. Cook, what is your name?"
My name is Wretch.
Well, Wretch, if you are thinking of looking through the gap under the door, don't.
I will not. But
Good.
there are these little slits the whole way up the door that I can see through.
Okay. Turn around and don't look.
Okay. How long?
Until you stop hearing squelching sounds.
Okay.
Are we proceeding with another surgery?
Oh, let's figure out what's going on in this body. There's got to be something wrong with some of them.
We must proceed in the same manner for every victim.
We've got a procedure now. Best to follow procedure. Procedures save lives.
Science.
Yes, there is a system. Medicine check. It's coming. The good one's coming.
There we go. Then.
There it is. Okay, so you more diligently and precisely cut open this victim, whether they be a victim of somebody else or you. You more precisely cut open the Viashino woman and start rooting around in the innards.
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. She's a lizardkin, right? I'm a dragonkin. She's not as squishy as that pink thing upstairs. This makes much more sense, you know? The right amount of pressure to apply. Yeah, I'm more familiar with this.
You're distant cousins, really, biologically speaking.
How dare you?
Yeah.
I said distant. Very distant, if you want.
As distant as possible, if you don't mind. Anyway, what do I see?
Everything seems to be normal. The organs all look intact and healthy, and everything looks normal.
Well, I can safely tell you that this person is dead.
Well, if she wasn't before, she certainly is now.
Her body's still warm. You do get that, again, as before.
I would expect that this time, because we only spoke to her a few minutes ago, really.
How long exactly has it been between the previous murder and this one, would we guess?
Well, I should ask you, really, Prince. You've got the impeccable memory. I imagine the passage of time is an easy thing for you to understand.
Yes, of course. Everything I do is metered and every step is counted as music. I start sort of counting backwards at all my movements.
You count all the notes of your life. Since you went upstairs for the last murder, and right now it's probably been about 35 minutes or so.
About 35 minutes. Then perhaps we have another 25-ish before the next murder happens.
Right. I tell you what. You there in there, wretched, or whatever your name is. How many other people are in the building?
The only ones that should be here today are the ones in the dining area, and my beloved, and Mr. Conklin.
Excellent, so everyone else is in that room. I reckon we've maybe got 30 to 35 minutes until the next murder. Let's go and be present for it, shall we?
Absolutely. This is a great idea.
Okay, so you guys go back over to the dining room. You open up the doors. Jennings is standing right inside. Are we done yet? Can we leave? Please.
No, we are expecting a murderer.
Murder count 2. We decided to come here and witness the next murder.
It's gonna happen here? In front of us?
Well, this is where everyone else left in the house is, so...
One assumes. But don't worry, we shall stop it before it progresses to its final conclusion.
Oh, we're gonna die. Okay.
I'm going to go and question that thing. I got a magical sense from it earlier.
Okay. I'd like to walk over to the is it side of the table.
Yes.
The Vidalkin sitting next to the Blobus creature looks up at you. How may I help, officer?
Well, I'm afraid the murder count is now up to 2, and I believe we've got another 11 to go until the murderer feels they are done. So, don't let that panic you. Let's ask some questions and see exactly what's going on. Now, earlier I noticed some magic, some transmutation magic coming from this creature here. I was just wondering if you could explain the nature of it to me.
Well, he kind of smirks a little bit. Kind sir, Dragonborn, this is a weird. Weirds by nature are transmorphic and magical.
Right.
I created him myself.
Okay. I don't know a bloody thing about all of that, to be honest. How does it work? Can you switch him off and on again?
No, he is a living creature, sir. Do
Ah,
not switch him off. That would be awful. He is as much live as you and I.
okay, right. Let's do this another way. Now, hold right there and listen out for my announcement in a short moment. Walk back over to Prince. Prince, there is a method that we've been taught in the Boris Legion called splitting the dictionary. How do you find a word in the dictionary? I'm thinking of a word. Guess. How do you guess which word I'm thinking of? You split the dictionary, Prince. You start off by asking questions. Does the letter start with a letter less than M or greater than N? That way you have maximized the amount of encounters. What we'll do, we will get the room to stand on opposite sides of the room and slowly whittle down our numbers until we find the culprit. Now, bear witness. I'm going to stand on a stool. Okay, everyone. Oh, go on.
Is there like a small cupboard or something that leads into the dining room?
And from the dining room, there are 2 doors going to. What's it say? Okay, there are 2 doors coming from the side that you came in. There are the set of doors that you walk in and out of that are right by the front door to the building, to the manor, and then there is another set that are right over by the kitchen. That's like the easy access for the maid and the cook to get in and out of the room over towards the kitchen. It all leads to the greeting room, but they're just 2 sets of doors in that area. To your left, on the opposite side of the room, there is a closed door over there as well.
I think what we should do is one of us should stay here to keep an eye on everything, and then the other should take them one by one into a different room and torture them. Unless one wants to come out as the murderer.
Yes,
and
but
then we shout.
the problem with that is a good torturing takes around 4 to 6 hours. Now, we don't have that much time. That could be 8 to 12 murders and the bloody thing would be over before it's done. Now, trust me, this will be the quickest way.
I don't know, I have some rather good spells.
Oh, I say, are you...
I give the gathered people a meaningful look, trying to sort of intimidate someone into confessing.
Oh, okay. So you said this loud enough for them to hear. Okay.
Yes.
A good torture. Okay. Sure. Yeah, they're just they're all staring at both of you. Very puzzlingly.
No? Anyone? No one wants to come out and beg for clemency before I torment them within an inch of their sanity.
I'm going to stand on a chair. Does anyone come forward? I'll wait.
Does anyone look guilty?
Well, the goblin puts his feet down and stands up and looks very wide-eyed.
You can't kill us. You're here to help. Save us.
Right now, that is extremism there, Master Goblin. We didn't say kill, we said extreme torture.
That would kill me. I'm allergic to torture, and that would kill me.
No, my friend is very skilled. Anyway, we will see if we can avoid that. Okay, everyone! Listen up, listen. We've already got your attention, I see. Well done, Prince. That's very good. If anyone here has an affection for gambling, I would like those who have an affection for gambling to stand on the left side of the room, and those who couldn't care a damn about it to stand on the right side of the room.
Okay. Everyone gets up from the table, and they all head to the right side of the room.
Ah, reverse psychology, you see? They all say they don't have an affection for gambling. That means that at least one of them is lying. So from now on, we play reverses. If anyone here knows it, or has no idea about anything to do with the number 13, please move over to the left-hand side of the room.
they kind of look back and forth between each other, especially the female human, the Azorius humans. Kind of, they all start slowly shuffling over to the other side of the room and looking at you for like approval or disapproval, and then walking and then looking, and they all make their way to the left side of the room.
All right. Let's try this one then. Anyone who define themselves as a man stand on the right, and anyone who does not define themselves as a man on the left.
That's a very good one. Very good one.
Okay. The human Azorius member walks over to the right. The goblin walks to the right. The human, I'm sorry, not the human. The Vidalcan tells his blob creature to the weird to stay there. Taps on him and says, "Stay there," and he walks to the right. And that's it.
Just the 4, but you're just remembering the wording, wasn't it? That the victim was described as a man.
There's just three males.
Yes, but wasn't the victim that was described as a man?
No,
Oh,
it's
the
the
victim
one.
was a man.
It's the one who has to pay his debt, who is a man.
Under the
But
weight of this.
if he's,
Oh yes, I see.
if the one with the debt is the first to die, then that kind of defeats the point of making him pay the debt.
Yes, I see what you're saying. I'll cut off every single one of your fingers until you pay me, sort of thing. Yes. Don't cut them all off at once. You can't add them back on. Yes, I see what you mean. Right, brilliant. Thank you, the three of you. Who here owed Mr. Whatever his bloody name was a debt? Mordenkin?
Merle Coughlin?
Merle Coughlin, that was it, yes.
The goblin speaks up.
I didn't know him any debt. I didn't know anyone here owes him debt. He's the one who was in debt.
Who is he in debt to, Master Goblin? Thank you for speaking up.
Who wasn't he in debt to?
Right, yes.
He spent money all the time. This is all a big charade, this whole thing.
No, we're doing an investigation. We're not playing parlor games.
I mean his living situation. He borrowed money to get all this. And he puts himself off as rich. Bah.
Interesting.
Are you telling me he faked it until he maked it?
Oh, he made it. He was well respected.
Yes.
He made it. But he was smart, but just not with money.
I don't think it was the Goblin Prince.
Or maybe that's what he wants us to think. I
Yes.
think let's trust no one.
Reverse psychology, I do like that.
Yes. I saw that you were quite adept at using it yourself.
Yes, with the if anyone here does not feel like they have anything to do with the 13, yes. I was quite proud of that one. I will point at the goblin. You! If you were the prime suspect, what would you say in your defense? Before a court of your peers?
I'd say piss off. I didn't do it.
I mean, that's a good answer.
Yes, it is. It's such a terrible excuse that honestly no criminal mastermind who would come up with such a fantastically crafted note would have such a terrible...
Yes, right. Do any of you three work in the coin or press industry?
They all three look at each other. The dark-skinned human male Azorius, he's got like a metal breastplate with the Azorius symbol on his chest, bright and large right there on his chest, and he's dressed pretty fancy. He kind of raises his hand. I am a budgetary coordinator. I don't know if that counts.
I mean, the minting of coins.
No.
Right.
None of us are allowed. He looks around. None of us are allowed to mint coins. That would be illegal.
You can work there as a factory worker. That would be fine. We wouldn't judge you. Let's see. How about the wax industry? Any candeliers or seal makers?
Chandelier. I like the sound of that. They
I
all
believe the word is Chandler.
all look around and they look at you.
Yes,
Shaking
that's
their
quite right. Although when you actually say it like that, they don't sound that too much different. Chandelier, candelier, chandler. Close.
Yeah, I like candelier. I like that.
Yes, it sounds like a musketeer, but
Yeah, it's
More-
like adventure.
more arts and crafty.
That's right. Sorry, I got so distracted by the word candelier that I lost track of whether everyone was or not.
Yeah, they all shook their head no and looked at you puzzlingly.
Right. Does anyone work with potatoes?
Because
Yes,
The
Potato Prince. I used to do it as a boy.
the blob starts stepping forward, and then the Vidalcan's like, no. It eats potatoes. Doesn't work.
with potatoes. But I'm a potato.
Can I insight check the room to get a clue? I'm lost.
What do you want to insight check?
I just want to get a feel. See if anyone in the room stands out as shifty.
Yeah, okay. General room mood. Sure. Go ahead and do a general. Holy fuck. Are you serious? All right. So, my perspective is shifty. I don't know what your perspective of shifty in a general term is. Characters. But as far as just general, there is a Vidalcan male, a Vidalcan Azorius male. Oh, you were right earlier. There is 4 males. No, I'm sorry. She's female. Yeah. Jeez. Okay. There's a Vidalcan female who is hasn't spoken yet, and just stares. Whoever's talking in the room just stares at them. She's kind of shifty. The Vidalcan male with the blob creature is might seem a little, I don't know. It's hard to read Vidalcan. They're kind of what's that? Vulcan. I'm thinking of Vulcan from Star Trek. They're kind of like that, so it's hard to read their emotions. They don't project a whole lot. The female human, Azorius female, she seemed a little sassy, quite a bit sassy. But as far as shady, nobody's like standing out as murderer shady. There's definitely some social things going on. These people don't look like socialites.
I have another idea, Prince. I have another idea. So far, Merle himself, whatever his bloody name was, Cockford, whatever. He has been murdered. Next, his maid has died. By now, the cook could have died too. We are not sure who will be next.
Good point. Someone should probably go and check on the cook.
Jennings, go and check on the cook for us, would you, Milan? We locked him in the larder. Don't worry about the mess in the kitchen.
Don't let him out of the pantry.
Where's
He's alive.
Where's the pantry?
In the kitchen.
Don't send me out there by myself.
Oh, you'll be fine, Milad. You'll be fine. We're in conducting an investigation.
And if you see anything terrifying, make sure you scream very loudly what it is before you die.
Oh.
Like, demon, something like that.
Oh no! Look, a sorcerer with glasses, a black hair, and a scar on his right eye. That would be very helpful.
That'd be very helpful.
Oh, I'd better not die. I'm running to do it. I'm running.
So he leaves the room.
You're the worst.
Yeah, we totally are.
Oh.
Now, I'd like to look around the room. Having described the victims, I would like to see if anyone is sweating. If anyone looks like they might be the next victim, to see if anyone can make the logical connection that they might be the next in this sequence, because Installa Luce has no idea.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check as you look around the room.
Hey!
Hey! No one seems to be sweating. Though, the goblin does seem to be frustrated and, like, shifting around. Like,
Need to get out of here. This is bullshit.
Well now, Prince.
very impatient.
I've read the room quite expertly. The goblin seems to be impatient. That Vercurian, Azurian woman over there, she is staring at everyone, talking intently. And I believe there was one more person that the DM told me about, and I would like to also relay that information to you, but the player is bullshit and can't remember.
Just the other Aquarius woman, she just bad attitude.
Oh, there's two Azurians, and she's just sassy as all hell. I don't like it.
Is Jennings back yet?
Not yet.
There's no screaming.
Just no screams, no Jennings. It was just a matter of seconds since he left, and he does come running back now. Hear thumps in the hallway. The door opens up. The lizard's dead.
Knew
He's
it!
dead.
I
Dead in
knew
the
it.
pantry. Who?
Jennings, what did you do?
Who? Oh, why did you make me go do it? Why did you make me go find him? Oh, he's dead. It's awful. It's horrible.
Right. Any signs that he was killed?
There was a woman with her stomach cut open in the kitchen.
Yes,
I don't know
that was us. Yes.
Oh God, no! Boo! No, he looked fine. He was just dead, just so dead.
Interesting. And was the door to the pantry open, or was it still locked?
It was locked. He was locked inside. Why did somebody lock him inside? Were they trapping him for death?
He should have been safe in there. How is this possible?
Well done, everyone! You have passed the test of not being the murderer.
Except for Jennings.
Except for Jennings, yes.
Da-da.
I didn't. No, I didn't do it.
Well, is it possible? I look at Instaluce. Would you happen to know if it's possible to prepare a spell so that he kills with a delay? Everyone here is cursed.
Yes, I'm afraid we're all marked men at this point. Or women, or other, as you may assign yourself. Let's see, I'm gonna do an Arcana check to see if that's possible.
Okay, go and do an Arcana check.
That's a 13.
It's very possible. I mean, it's still dark out, and it's the middle of the day. There's some enchantment magic going on, maybe some curse behind it as well. It's really hard to tell exactly what it is with 13, but it's very possible for there to be a magical root to all this death, and maybe less of a physical killer.
Who here has an enemy who is powerful magic user?
They all raise their hand.
God damn it. Of course.
With the one Vidalcan, the Vidalcan male, is it Vidalcan male? It's more so a rival, but yes, in our profession, you tend to have enemies.
Does do we happen to all have the same coinciding rival?
Who is your enemy?
The wizard in the lab next to me. Schlager.
All right. So we have a Schlager on one side. What about you? Who is your enemy?
Tiffany McBell.
What did she do?
She just hates me for the way I dress.
That bitch. What about you?
Rob McDuffie.
Do any of them happen to be moneylenders who owed Merle some money? Or vice versa, rather, or who Merle owed money?
Is anyone's enemy in some way related to the Steamworks?
Oh yes, the Steamworks. I forgot all about that.
That old chestnut. This might have been easier or might have been harder with I'm not sure which this would have been with 4 players. Steamworks, that's why we're here. We're discussing the Steamworks.
Oh, by the way, you've gone crackly again. Maybe just do the old pop and click again.
You'll pop and click.
Yeah, but it would seem that the Steamworks might be a key part of this investigation, so why don't you each quickly, in about 3 words, summarize your role at the Steamworks and how it may be related to murder?
Is it better now?
Yes.
Yes.
So weird. Okay, so the Vidalcan Izzet members says we are all involved with the Steamworks. This meeting is to finalize the Steamworks project. It's just simply making more energy efficient Steamworks in District 1.
Precinct 1! I read about that, yes! Did it happen to be built on some sort of burial ground or something like that?
No, everything we are just legitimizing. We come to some financial disagreements as far as what that part of the city can afford tax-wise to accommodate the new equipment that the Izzet is providing.
The Izzet is providing.
Yes, we handle all Steamworks throughout the city.
Ah.
Aha, so you stand to earn a profit.
No, I'm paid on a salary, sir. I don't make profit from my work. None of us do.
You should really get an overtime package. They're quite wonderful to get extra cash.
I have asked
possibly
about
some hazard pay as well.
Yes, hazard pay, especially now you've been involved with a murder. Make sure after all of this is done, you get some sort of compensation. It's going through traumatic experiences. It's important they look after you.
If I could get that in writing, that'd be great.
Yes. Contact our superiors at the Boris Legion. They handle all this. In fact, we have a clerk with us. Once he's finished throwing up, I'm sure he could sort you something out. Okay, well, right. Prince, you carry on. I'm going to go look out the window and see if I can figure out why it's bloody dark outside.
Right. I pull out the mysterious note and I hand it around to the Izzet. And like, does this tell you something? Does this look familiar? Specifically, the writing.
Okay. Let me make rolls for them. Bump. And bump. So,
Roll20 hates us.
Bunch of peons is what they are.
Yeah. The goblin looks down at it and says,
Emac does not know what this means, but it does not look like it was written. It looks like it was made by Ghost.
Pardon?
Looks like it was made by Ghost. I have seen Ghost stamping before. Azorius probably behind it.
I turn to the Azorius. Claire, can you please clarify that?
No, he don't mind him. He means Orzov, not Azorius.
Whatever.
Also hit 10 retweets.
Okay.
All right.
10 retweets. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's make this totally inappropriately timed interesting event happen. Let's see here. So, how do you want to do this? I guess I'll roll it since it's just a general retweet instead of somebody donating for one person. So we will go with on a D20, our guild activity table. This is going to be rough for this situation. A 9. Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
The nearest, you are attracted to the nearest assassin. You feel the desire to hug them.
Oh, you want to? Okay, want to do that one?
No. I'm just asking.
Oh.
I'm just suggesting, perhaps.
Yes.
The aura of danger is irresistible to you.
Okay. Is it? So the player receives an is it mystery brew? I don't have that list on me. Okay. So one for Scrat and 2 for Sketty. On a one, what is it? -R1D2. Okay, Scrat, the goblin walks over to you and looks up at you.
It says, I meant Orzov,
And you guys both know that Orzov is the guild that I mentioned earlier. That is more so. It's kind of like church, mob, bank kind of guild. They fashion themselves as a religious order, but mainly it's all about profit, money, extortion, and stuff like that. He comes over and he gives a potion to you, Stella Luce.
Yes, this may help in your understanding of the situation with Orzov, and your better reading of the letter.
I will cast detect poison.
Okay, you cast it. No poison, no disease.
Well, how do you expect it to do that then, dear chap? It's just a brew, right?
Yeah, it is Izet brew. Izet brew, good for the body.
Can I investigate it and see if it's in any way relevant? I'm so confused.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and investigate the brew.
Oh boy. Oh, all of a sudden I really missed the nat 20s.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'm gonna pull out my theremin and play you a very high-pitched little ditty of inspiration.
How much does that add?
Let's see.
I think a D8 at this point.
Yeah, you get a D8.
And about an 11.
Not too bad. Yeah, you can tell it doesn't smell harsh. It doesn't seem harsh, and the Azorius aren't ones to like want to poison themselves or kill themselves or anybody else. They don't seem to be nefarious like that.
Go ahead and drink up. It'll just help you.
What could possibly go wrong?
Come. We need to get out of here.
And he goes and sits back down.
Drink it. It'll expand your mind.
I've had cocktails that did that.
Kind of like that, but not in a bad. So, yeah, like I was saying, Orzov, not Azorius. Orzov, do writing like that. Ghost people. The old man had debts. Probably to ghosts. I don't know.
Never rest, says the note. Perhaps that means ghosts.
Sure. I don't know.
Don't you think the ghosts of the past are coming back to take vengeance on the living? Prince, why don't I pass this to you, see if you can make any more out of it? I feel like everything is here, but I'm missing something vital.
Sure, why not? I'll drink it if you don't want to.
I'll take a little swig. I mean, if we're sure it doesn't smell like poison, I'll take a little swig and pass it on.
Take a
Half
swig.
and half.
Yeah, you guys. So you take a little swig of it, in Stella Luce, and you start to feel clarity, a little more focus. And your intelligence is increased by 4, your wisdom by 2, and you have 5 temporary hit points.
5 temp hit points, okay. Intelligence plus 4 int plus 2 whiz.
Yep. And 5 temp HP. You feel focused, like you just housed an energy drink.
I would like to look at the windows and investigate or arcanate why it might be dark outside.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check with your new
Int
modifier.
plus 4 is 19.
Oh, I'm sorry. You are now proficient in all. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. You're proficient in now all intelligence checks for the time being.
Fantastic. Okay.
22. So now with your new sense of clarity, it's very clear that you guys are in some kind of magical bubble right now. Possibly in a curse that's playing itself out. And more than likely, it's if it's not solved, it's not going to come to a good end. Because the darkness outside may never go away for you until this is over. And the darkness outside looks very tangible, as though when you walk out into it, it's not going to end well. So what would you like to do?
This isn't going anywhere, Prince.
Indeed, it's not.
This darkness, it seems like some sort of curse, intent on playing its way out. Can I, with the high arcana, can I like see like a big golden thread arrow pointing towards one of the people in the room or something like that?
No, but as you're looking around and you're looking out the window and you're pondering and you're feeling enlightened, maybe some tingling going on, and more so this situation is revolving around magic and not so much around a person. Maybe it seems like it was due to a person, but this is all revolving around the magic that's flowing around you and the situation you're in, rather than someone doing it.
Do I believe there's a way I can stop it?
Oh, it probably can definitely be stopped. I mean, what did the letter say? Like, what? I mean, it has an end.
Under the weight of this man's debts, 13 shall pay or never rest. The odds are slim at 100 to 1, but when he pays his debt, the deal is done.
Jennings is watching you read the note. Oh, please.
Jennings! Jennings, my lad! You said you were good at reading!
Yeah.
Read this
Not
bloody
correct.
note.
Okay, he reads it out. Repeats it under the weight of the man's head. Okay.
At this point, everyone in the room, come on, we're all going to put our heads together. We're all going to die unless we figure this out. Many heads better than one when solving mysteries, and I'm dumbstruck.
Yes, there is. Yeah, you notice by the look of the time that it's not very much longer till somebody else dies. So, yeah, everybody gathers around, and you're all looking at the note. And Jennings is like, I don't know, just tell him to pay his debt. What's his debt?
Who's debt? Who is the? There's no address. It was in
Where
Merle's hands.
Okay, tell him to pay his debt.
He's dead.
Oh. I'll make him pay it then.
Right. I took some money off of Merle's body as evidence.
Oh.
Magical spirits, I'm going to put this money in an urn and burn it as sacrifice. Hopefully that appeases you. I'd like to put the money in a gold chalice or something from around the room. Maybe there's a fruit bowl or something that looks like it will hold some fire. Chuff out the fruit, put it in. I'll cover it in some nearby. There's got to be a liquor somewhere in the room. I'm going to cover it in liquor, say a prayer, make a religion check, and try and sacrifice this to the cursed thing.
Okay. As soon as you say the words, spirits, we're going to put this in, we're going to sacrifice it. You put it in an urn. You drop your bag of coin in an urn. You hear it hit the inside of the urn. The clanging of the coin in the bag against the hard inside of the urn. And then the urn disappears as you're getting ready to pour liquor over it.
Well,
Hey, you did it! We're free!
Wait. The odds are slim at 101. Right, grab another bowl. We need to put about another 9 gold in there. Come on, cough up, everyone. Is it worth your life? Let's get a collection, get a whip round. Come on, 9 gold we need.
The male Azorius just kind of hands 9. He gets this big sack. And he takes 9 gold out of it. There you go. 9 gold.
Great.
What would you like to do?
I grab another fruit bowl, I chuck the money in there, and I go to pour liquor on it. I'm sacrificing this money to you, spirits. Knock twice if you're appeased.
and I'm playing ominous spiritual music on my theremin in the background.
As soon as you say you are sacrificing it for the purpose of the debt, the bowl with the coins, 9 gold in it, disappears.
It would be much easier to sacrifice money to you if you stopped nicking the bowls.
Delivery system.
The goblin looks at you.
They took it.
Yes, right now, knock twice if you're appeased.
Is it still dark out?
It's still dark out.
Okay, well, we gave them 100, right? Right? Right?
The odds are slim at 100 to 1.
Okay, 100 to 1.
Maybe one person has to give 100.
Maybe we each need to give 100. Maybe we need to give 1,300.
The day I have 100 gold is the day I retire. And start a music school.
You have your starting gold, and you guys all have your gold from starting. So whatever, we'll say each of you carries like 30-something gold. The goblin dumps out 75 gold.
I could go around with yet another fruit bowl, getting a collection. Come on, everyone! Just cough it all up. Let's just put all our money in there. It could be the only way out. Silverware too. Pretty much anything. Let's just gather everything that looks valuable.
Silverware. So you put a
Somehow
bunch
I
of
feel
stuff.
like we're being scammed.
Me too, but if it means we all stop dying, then bloody hell, I'll go with it.
But it's Stella Luce, and I pull him aside. And it's like, it is the Boros Legion's policy to not negotiate with terrorists.
Well, yes, but we're not negotiating at all right now, are we? We're just bloody dying.
We are paying a ransom.
It didn't even knock when I asked if it would knock twice. Didn't even knock once.
So everybody puts a bunch of money in to the bowl. What are you saying again in Stella Luce?
Yes, right, everyone, everything in, all the silverware, everything nice in the room. Brilliant. Bring that painting across as well. Bring that in, yep, brilliant. Just balance that on top. Right, spirits, we are giving this as another sacrifice. Knock twice if you're appeased.
The bowl and much of its contents disappear. The painting falls on top of the table, along with many coins and silverware. And yeah, it looks as though that maybe the first 1,200 gold out of that bowl was taken along with the bowl. The rest of the coinage and stuff that was placed into the bowl beyond that has all fallen on the table. The darkness outside seems to go away, and you can now see the light of day poking through the windows. The front door flies open. Both front doors fly open. You can hear the bustle of the street and the busyness of the city in the second precinct on the outside.
Come on, everyone. Come on. We've done a thing here today. Yep, well done. And thank you very kindly for this donation to the Boris Legion for solving your problem today. Please do not squabble on the way out. And, well done. Well done, everyone. Good job today.
At varying degrees of happiness about the situation. The goblin was ecstatic and he ran out. He just...
Freedom!
Don't leave town.
No, we've solved it. Don't worry, it was clearly the dead.
Well, I don't know about you, but I find this to be a very dissatisfying climax. There was no battle with the undead for the souls of the living.
Well, if you want, we can assume that Jennings is still a villain, and you can go and have a little bit of battle with him. Be an easy victory, but it might put some stones on him.
No, it's too much.
I mean, I could punch him, but I don't know. It's just this is not how stories go.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, we were stumped, we were going to die, and now we're alive, and you know, still somewhat stumped, but I've got a motto: when things are too confusing to bear, just ignore it.
But that's 30 gold's worth of ignoring it. I had plans for that money.
How much money is left on the table?
Oh, about 300 gold laying on
As
the
I
table.
start scooping it up, I'm like, well, there you go. You can have your 30 gold back. Don't worry about
Okay,
that. It's the donation to the Boris Legion, and we'll take the rest and we'll take it back to the station where it will be distributed evenly amongst everyone.
1 copper per soldier amongst everyone.
I need to talk to whoever sets out the assignments for us, because I was very much not prepared for this mission.
Yeah, this was just supposed to be like domestic disturbance, you know, such and such address. Please respond.
I mean, you know, some people rise to adventure. Some people seek out greatness, and some people have greatness seek them out.
And we are neither of those.
No, but it sounds good, doesn't it?
It does, but I hope you don't mind. But when I do write down a telling of this adventure, I think perhaps we will have a scene towards the end of the book where you, as the venerable detective, will slowly go over every alibi and unveil that the killer is the unassuming weird thing who eats potatoes. No one expected the creature to be guilty. And I start writing the novel in my head.
Da-da-da.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Like choose your own adventure novel.
Well, come on then, Prince. Let's head back to the Legion. We've done well today. About time for lunch, I think. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot about you.
I am a bit peckish. What do we do about the corpses, though?
I'll treat you each to a pint. Oh, don't worry. We'll leave that for the mop-up squad later.
Come on, Jennings.
Oh god, this is awful. I'm coming.
Do you know what? From all of those corpses, I actually really fancy some lamb.
Throwback.
Okay, so, and that's it. You two and Jennings go back to HQ, and yeah, that is the completion of your duties. When you try telling people what happened, they're very perplexed and more than likely don't believe you. And Jennings tells the tale of how awful it was, and there was gore everywhere, and yeah. So that'll complete your assignment.
Necessary gore, Jennings, necessary.
That was weird.
Yeah, I didn't foresee the automatic autopsies or the non-questioning of suspects. But that's great. You pulled it off at the end. You figured it out at the end.
We did figure it out. We figured it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't hurry that. I didn't hurry that ending. That was legit. What was going on?
Because I was feeling very much what Prince suggested, that we were getting scammed.
Yeah, it was a debt that he had to pay, and part of his debt. Well, I mean, his debt was 1,300 gold, but part of the stipulation was that if he doesn't pay it, others will. And when he died, there wasn't enough people to pay it, 100 per one. So yeah, it shut you guys in once it reached that amount of people in there, and yeah, it was just all in the verbiage of the letter. It wasn't. It was meant to distract you, having so many people there. Well, which one of you bastards did it? Well, he did it to himself, and he did it to you. So people were just going to keep dying until it was paid. Now, it was kind of supposed to be on his body, but you addressed it as, hey, spirits were paying, that was fine. You were in the zone. He was good.
I was so ready to roll a religion check as well with a +7 to religion. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, oh man.
I am very charming, and that's about all I've got.
You guys did it for only 2 people. You had two brains to slap into the grinder. You did great.
I must admit, as much as it was fun to get to the conclusion and satisfying somewhat to know you didn't rush the ending at all.
No.
The comedy was definitely the best part for me. The faux pas made by our stellar police force.
Yes.
It's just a buddy cop movie thing.
Yeah. A serious crime needs non-serious buddy comedy to truly get solved.
Yeah, the only thing missing was the scene where we thought one of us was going to die and the other one was like, no, save yourself. And then it turns out that they were safe all along.
Or one of the classic, everybody leaves me in the end. I'll never leave you. You're my partner.
It's you and me until the end. To every autopsy that you're not qualified to perform.
Yeah, boy, I can't wait for the 2 characters to answer for that. So we heard in a report that there were sliced open bodies at the scene.
Oh yes, that was me, and I was trying to figure out what was going on.
That was
but look, I made 300 gold or 265 gold.
That was the first thing you went to. Well, let's just cut them open. We'll figure it out. Or not one.
Flex.
Yeah. So, very well done. You guys.
I like that we did an autopsy with the husband in the pantry right there.
That's what I mean. The amount of just what would be seen in if you saw it in CSI, you'd be like, what the hell are they doing?
Turn around, just turn around, you say.
Just wait until the squelching stops from the other room. Oh, it looks like this one had beef.
I just assumed there was some kind of island in the middle with cooking utensils on. That's why he couldn't see you doing it. He just had to go off the sounds.
Oh, brilliant. Well, everyone, we are at the end. Let's go round and talk about we've talked a bit about what our favourite bits are, I think, but feel free to chime in with your favourite moment, who you are, and where we can find you online. Let's go the opposite way around this time. I say round, let's just do it in the opposite order of the two of you. First is Skeptical. I wasn't invited. Oh, hi.
Yeah. On Twitter, I'm at I wasn't invited. Yep. And I talk about a lot of nerdy things and complain about a lot of things.
Fantastic. And Kyle.
Yes. Hi. Sir Stalwart on the internet. Kyle, I'm here every Wednesday with Scrat. We're chilling in Ravnica, and I had a great time. Wow, I'm so glad you guys solved that. I was getting worried because we were time crunch, but I didn't want to rush it. And if you didn't solve it, we would have just, everyone would just die.
Everyone would have died.
We would have figured something out. Yeah. But no, you legit solved it, and it was great. And yeah, I loved it that your process of elimination started with the maiming of corpses. And you guys were hilarious the whole time. And it was great. It was just had a great time, and you guys did very well for only having two people to do the whole thing with. I really didn't give the NPCs any room to give you too much. I didn't want them to spoil it for you. So it was just kind of, you two figuring it out, and yep, you had the run of the place. So
We got there in the end. Even if we didn't figure out that how much we needed to pay or anything else, we figured out the basic
interrogation.
We really are. Splitting the dictionary. That's actually an engineering thing you do to try and figure out a problem. I was leaning heavily into real life when I was using that method.
I like the moving all the people to one side and moving other people to the other side.
Yeah, school thing. Yes.
Oh man, that was hilarious. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you both. You're awesome players. Yeah, like I said, I'm here on Wednesdays. Sir Stalwart on Twitch. I run a campaign like this, so I'll throw the Discord in there if you don't mind. Come join.
Yeah,
we'll do a game. And I'm here every Wednesday and whenever I can be. So thank you too so much. This was new for me. I never did a murder mystery, so let alone with only 2 players. This was you guys are awesome.
Oh, and it was utterly fantastic. Thank you so much. Lastly, it's me, I guess, and I've just come out of the Roll20, so we've lost the Roll20 there. That was my mistake. I'm just going to make it blank for now because we're right at the end. So everyone, my channel. Oh, hi, welcome. This is my channel. Check out our social links. We have Discord, Twitter, and YouTube. Go and check them all out. They're fully worth investing time in. You can see my schedule on both. You can catch up with shows on YouTube. It's all good over there. I also have a Patreon. Head over to Patreon. You can support us over there for as little as $1 a month, and please do consider doing so. Every dollar really does count. I think we just dipped back under the $500 goal again. Like we've been getting like closer and closer. Like it's been going like this. Like on $500, we were like coming up and up and up and up, and now we're like, oh, we're in. Oh, we're out. Yeah, we're right on the line. I think we just dipped back below it again, but thank you all so much for your support. It's fantastic. I'm so glad to be. It's a good place to be, dipping around your goal, by a couple of dollars here and there. So thank you. We also have merchandise. Go and check that out over on the Redbubble. It's a wonderful. It's a wonderful website. It gives comfy clothes and good quality material, so worth checking out. We also have sponsors in Bird in the Storm Publishing, who create D&D modules and other TTRPG content. We played the Midnight Wield over Christmas. It's on YouTube. It's worth checking out. It was good fun. And we also have Mage Hand Press. I've actually just read the Mage Hand Press command and realised that it does need updating because it's not Argo 37 anymore. It's now completely legitimate business. So worth tuning in on Thursdays at 10 PM to check that out. We also have some panels below where you can find tabletoploot.com, ruink.com, erasavad.com, and our artist Ambly. For those 3, there are codes in the panels where you can go and get discounted. So if you want dice, accessories, or some cartography or cartography learning, feel free to go and use those discounts to go and get on them. And I might start doing some giveaways at some point. I'm still like recovering, I think, from Premiere Week, but maybe soon we'll start thinking about doing something like that. Yeah, I think that's like all the things from me. Thank you so much, players. Skeptical, thank you so much for coming along as a solo person. This is only your second time, right? Second, third, second time. Fantastic job. You would have thought you were a regular. Yeah, fantastic. I can't wait to have you back again. In fact, and Kyle, as always, you bamboozled me, sir. You had me bamboozled. So thank you so much for that. Today we are going to head over to a channel where I appeared last season. We're going to head over to the Greyhawk channel. That's not how you raid though. You need to put /raid first. /raid the Greyhawk channel. We're going to head over there. Please bring the hype with us. The hype is today we need a raid cry. What should our raid cry be?
But we didn't have Potato in here.
No, Potato wasn't here. Potato wasn't here, unfortunately. I think he might have gone back to work finally or something.
Leroy Jennings.
Leroy. I'm not going to do the full type out. Yeah, we'll just do Leroy Jennings. That'll do. Leroy Jennings, everyone. Come along with Leroy Jennings. With some hype on either side as well. There we go. Put some hype in there. Beautiful. There it is. That's our raid cry. So when we get in there, that's not how you do it. Scrap. Well done. Pro streamer. Well, what's wrong with that? Anyway. Come along, bring the hype, it'll be fun. Thank you all so much for coming along today, and we will see you very shortly in the next channel. Keep evoking emotions, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye.
Yeah.